Hello Year 7. What I'd like us to do today is to spend a bit of time having a look at bar charts and how they can be used to compare data and how we can draw them in different ways to make life easier for ourselves. Here you can see that data is being collected about Year 7 and Year 8 about their favourite sports. You're being asked to write down 3 sentences to compare the 2 sets of data. Pause this video for a moment so that you can do that. We will think about those sentences in a moment. What I'd like you to think about first is what about the graph made it easy to answer that question, and what about the graphs made it more difficult? Is there anything you could do to make life easier for yourself? On the previous slide, Gemma had made life easier by making sure that the scales were the same on both graphs and that they were lined up underneath one another. But here you can see a much easier graph to look at by drawing the bar chart as a comparative graph. So here you can see that Year 7 and Year 8 are side by side on the same graph. This makes it much easier to make comparisons. So when I ask you this question, it's easy to see that the answer would be football and swimming. We can see that the most popular overall was football for both year groups, but the least popular, it was different for different year groups, but overall I would say basketball was the least popular. But the least popular for Year 7, definitely basketball. Least popular for Year 8 was netball. I will let you think about how you would answer this question, but the graph makes it easy to compare Year 7 to Year 8. Pause the video to be able to answer these questions. For the first question, if we add up the heights of all the yellow bars for the boys, you will see that it adds up to 25. 7 of them wear size 6, so it's 7/25. If you add up the heights of the bars for the girls, you'll see there are also 25 girls, so 50 people in the group altogether. 10 of them wear size 6, so that's 10 out of 50, which will cancel to 1/5. The final question asked for a percentage. So since there are 6 people who wear size 3 out of 50, that's 6/50ths, which is 12/100ths, so that's 12%. So far, the charts which we have looked at are comparative bar charts. This is an example of a composite bar chart. You can see here that the information has been put one on top of the other. So pause again and have a think about the questions. A composite chart can be a little bit more difficult to read, but just look at the 2 parts separately or overall as you want to. So for the first question, we want to look at the whole thing. So the biggest bar overall is for cat, so that's definitely the most popular pet amongst the students. If we're looking at the actual numbers though, you can see with a cat, 4 boys preferred the cat, whereas 6 girls preferred the cat. So when it comes to looking at the most popular pet amongst the boys, we've got 3 possibilities. It could be dog, cat or bird. For all of those, 4 boys preferred it. Most popular amongst the girls, you can see that there were 6 girls that liked the cat. There are 6 girls who also like guinea pigs. So those 2 are both the most popular. Okay. Although overall a composite bar chart needs a little bit more work to read easily, if we're looking at just percentages as in the top graph here, then they are quite useful because it's very easy then to see the proportion between boys and girls for the different subjects. Now to see if you understand this, I would like you to do some work from your workbooks.